Hi, it's been a minute. I think about 2 weeks since I've posted my last video. But hi, I'm Tanya. Welcome or welcome back if you've been here before. I am on a journey to increase my income stream so I can quit my corporate job. Next month, I will be 50, and I'm trying to live the life that I've always wanted to live, and it's definitely not being at the corporate job that I'm at. So, first off, my cat will probably eventually be in the video because here she is being all in my business. Two, we're going to try to hold the microphone. If you saw my last video, this thing absolutely misbehaved. It was falling off my shirt and all that. So, we're going to try to hold it. Unfortunately, I talk with my hands, so I'm not really sure how well this is going to go, but I'm going to try my best. And this is actually going to be a pretty short video, she says when she rambles for like 20 minutes. As you probably saw from the title, I have quite an update. I have decided to close my Shopify store. I'm just going to get right into it. I'm not happy about it. It feels candidly quite like a failure. So my print on demand Shopify store is, I'm going to say, about 8 months old, maybe a little bit more. I think I'm hitting about 8 months. And it has been something. I I knew going into it that you had to drive your own traffic and all that. And I said, okay, I'm going to try this. So just kind of a backstory to how I opened up or why I opened up my Shopify store. Um, I had I had decided to try print on demand. I opened up an Etsy shop, and that was where I was going to kind of start. Uh, okay, backstory before that, I already had an Etsy shop. It was actually a sticker shop. It was actually very successful. I was in the top 4%. I loved it, but I wanted to try something else. At that time, this is right now, I'm filming this in May of 2026. So in January 2025, I live in the United States. There was a change in the government, and that changed a lot of things in my business, tariffs and everything. And I noticed a huge um, drop in my business. And so I said, well, let's see if we can pivot. And so I had kind of kept hearing about print on demand, and I kept going back and forth if I wanted to try it or not. And I said, okay, I'm going to try it. So it was probably like the summer of 2025, I decided to open up a separate Etsy shop that was just going to be print on demand. And I started it. I'm doing all the things. And I started to make sales. And I had an issue with their payment processing. I had when you have your Etsy account, you have to connect your Etsy account to wherever you want your funds to go to. So I had connected it. They use a third party, which I hate. I don't care. I hate the company that they use. And I set everything up. Everything said it was connected, but to Etsy, they kept saying that it wasn't connected. It wasn't verified. And I'm like, it's verified. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It literally is. I got confirmation that it was verified. So long story short, they would not release their funds to me because they were saying, they would not release my funds to me because they were saying that the account wasn't verified, but yet I had already verified it more than one time. And so it just kind of kept becoming a back and forth. And I just said, I'm not going to play games with you guys. And so I shut that shop. And actually, to this day, they still owe me the money. My sticker shop that I had on Etsy is now over 4 years old. So I think at the time maybe they were using a different way to verify payment. I never had any issues. So I don't know what this nonsense was that I had to deal with last year. So I decided that I was going to open a Shopify store. I was like, I'm not going to deal with this nonsense with Etsy. And I'm going to open it up. So this was the beginning of October 2025. I opened up my Shopify store. I already had a Pinterest account. So I just switched that over from Etsy to my Shopify store, and I just really started pinning like crazy. I mean, it was insane. I have over 70,000 pins on my Pinterest account. It was nuts. And so it was very slow, no sales, no sales, no sales, because other than Pinterest, I wasn't really driving any other traffic. I'm honestly not very good at social media. I've said that in several of my videos. Yes, I understand that I'm here posting a video on YouTube. It feels like a whole different world to me. But anyway, I I said I'm just going to do the Pinterest thing. Uh, if anybody knows anything about Pinterest, that is a very, very slow process. It's like a snowball effect. You're doing it, you're doing it, you're doing it, nothing, 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 and then you get something. And so that's what happened to me. Um, there's like a couple different things that they check, and you're verified, and this and that. They check all these things, but what they also do is uh, at some point, the last step of it is you become a verified merchant. Now, I didn't really know about this step. It automatically happens. Pinterest does whatever it is that they do. And then all of a sudden, I became a verified merchant. And as soon as that happened, my pins blew up. The traffic to my Shopify store kind of blew up. And that's when some sales started to happen. And I was excited. I was like, great, here we are. It was several months in, but here, like all of this work that I had done had finally come to fruition. So I was excited about that. But unfortunately, that was very short lived. Um, I, to be honest, I am not a Pinterest expert at all. I was winging it the whole time. So I can only go by my own experience and my own thoughts. Um, but I had that huge spike, which created sales on my Shopify website, but that didn't last long. And so, even though I was kind of pinning, I will be very candid. I had slowed down some because I had started to focus on some other things. This is when I really had decided that I really need to get out of my corporate job. And I knew I wanted to have multiple streams of income. Like you do not rely on one stream of income. So I did not want to rely on Shopify. Plus, Shopify was barely doing that much anyway. So yes, I did less pins. I wasn't as consistent, but I also had burnt myself out, all the pins that I had made to get to the point that I was at. And it wasn't sustainable. So I had this spike in sales and traffic and all that. It was great. Things felt good, rainbows in the sky, sparkles, glitter everywhere. I was like, oh, we made it. And it was short lived. I don't know why. I don't know if it just gave a quick burst of attention and then it just fizzled out. I don't know. I don't know anything about Pinterest. But anyway, sales dropped. And had, I tried to kind of pick up doing some more pins again. I was really trying to do email marketing and things, and it just wasn't working for me. I'm just going to be honest. It wasn't working for me. I saw a spike in my traffic and then it kind of dropped. I started to get a little bit of traffic from YouTube. I had one of my videos do really, really well, which actually really brought in an influx of traffic, which I got a sale from. But yeah, the traffic isn't there, and now I'm back to I'm not getting a whole lot of traffic anymore. And so I've kind of decided that 8 months in, it was a very short period of time where I was getting some sales. That's already dropped off. And I can't do it anymore. I'm gonna be honest. I don't fully know what I need to. I mean, okay. I kind of know what I need to do and I don't know what I need to do. There you go. I'm going to be transparent. However that makes me look, I'm sorry. I know there are so many people out there that have Shopify POD stores and they're making six figures, whatever. You guys are my hero. It's not me. I can't seem to figure out the secret sauce. My cat thinks I'm trying to pet her because my hand's waving all over the place. Um, I can't figure out the secret sauce and it's not working for me. And I've just decided that, to be very candid, it's a waste of my time to continue to try to grow something that just isn't growing. So that's where we're at. I'm actually going to be closing it this week. I just thought that I would wait until next billing cycle, and I was like, okay. So I think I get paid. I get billed at the end of this week, and so I'll be closing it this week because I'm not going to pay another month for this website. I'm not gonna do it. Um, yeah. So, but I do actually. Okay. So there's a little bit of a silver lining to it. Um, I've had my POD products on other platforms. I don't talk about it because Shopify was supposed to be my main focus. I didn't want to rely on other platforms, especially Etsy. But my products are selling on other platforms. So it was never the fact that my products weren't that good. It was just the fact that I just can't figure out the secret sauce to bring all this traffic to my Shopify store. So I had decided a couple months ago that when Shopify started to kind of just be fickle and stuff like that, I said, you know what? I, I, I'm going to be done with my sticker shop because I had, sold out of a lot of the inventory and my plan was to just slowly sell out of the stuff that was on my sticker shop and just close that. But I said to myself, this is a successful shop. Like, why completely get rid of it? And so I had actually started to slowly put my POD products on my sticker shop, and they're selling on there. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm closing my Shopify store, and I'm just going to convert my existing Etsy store shop into fully POD. I have a couple remnants left over of my sticker shop. I'm just letting the listings expire. I'm not going to renew them. So whatever sells, sells. Whatever doesn't sell, I'll probably just donate that inventory, whatever. I don't have a ton left. Um, and that's my plan, is that I'm just going to stick with Etsy right now. I had my product also on eBay and stuff was selling, but if anybody has ever sold print on demand stuff on eBay shipping is the way they handle their shipping is kind of crazy. I have an existing eBay shop, and so I just thought it would be natural to just throw my print on demand products on there. But eBay does their own shipping, like what print of the carriers the carriers that Printify uses for shipping does not actually feed over to eBay. And so I was running into the fact that eBay was saying, okay, this item costs $7 to ship, via post office, but yet Printify, the vendor that over on Printify, they were using like DHL and the shipping was actually like $9. And so I have to pay the difference. So I won one of the sales that I made on eBay, I made like 50 cents on the sale because there was such a huge gap in the shipping charge that eBay charged the customer versus what actually needed to be charged. And I had to pay that difference. And so I said, oh, forget this. And so I yanked all my stuff off of eBay. But my stuff was selling on there. I just wasn't making that much of a profit. And I was not going to keep playing the whole gamble of, am I going to make money today or am I not? No, I just yanked my stuff off of there. So my stuff is going to be on Etsy, and we'll see how that goes. um, I didn't want to rely on Etsy. We all know how Etsy is. Their fees are crazy town. And yeah, their fees are crazy down. And so I didn't want to. Plus, Etsy can just yank your stuff whenever they feel like it and just all the things. But I'm getting sales on there. So in the end, I don't want to give up my print on demand business, but I'm also not going to continue to waste my time listing, trying to do a website and bringing all this traffic, and it just isn't working for me. So that's where we're at. I actually do have some other things that I'm kind of working on. I'm going to save that for another video because I'm trying to finish up some things, so to speak. So that's where we're at. I'm already 15 minutes in. That's longer than I had planned on this video going to be, but been here before, you know that I just ramble and I just keep talking. So that's where we're at with Shopify. And yeah, there we go. I feel better. I have to be honest with you. Part of it feels like a failure. And when I first started talking about it, I actually started to get a little bit emotional inside. But I have to tell you that the weight off of my shoulders has been immense because the pressure of trying to drive traffic to my Shopify store was immense. And it was even more heavier because it wasn't working. So here I was doing all this. I was stressed to, post on Instagram, post on Facebook, post on Pinterest. I was trying to do this daily and it was not working that much. And so, gosh, it drove me bonkers. And so the fact that I don't have that weight on my shoulders anymore, I can take that time and actually work on things that I actually really want to work on and bring joy to me and are actually working. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay, I'm done rambling. Thank you if you stayed and listened. If you didn't, I don't blame you. I talk too much. So that's our update. Again, share any thoughts, comments. Have you had this Shopify journey? Hey, share what's worked for you. I'm closing my shop, but maybe others are still trying to do the whole Shopify journey. And if you have any tips that you can share with anybody, please share them. As I always say, let's travel this all together and support each other. I hope you have a great day, a great week, and we will talk again soon. Thanks. Bye.